Why are children taking proton pump inhibitors? So PPI is the acronym for these meds, and probably the most well-known one is Nexium. Remember the little purple pill? Is for GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. So I don't typically follow this that much, this topic, but this caught my attention today. It was published on the 9th, but I saw it today. You can see right here, Medscape, February 16th, 2021. Proton pump inhibitor use tied to childhood asthma. So in other words, if you're a kid and you're taking PPIs, your chance for asthma goes up. But the real question is, why are there children taking them in the first place? It's unbelievable. So you can see the annual revenue, why they want people to take them. So all I had to do was just put into Google proton pump inhibitor annual revenue. So in 2020, it'll be, you can see 2,750 million, which means 2.75 billion. They expect it to be 3.5 billion in 2026. I think it was back in 06 when it came out, or certainly one of the charts that I saw. 06, they actually made like 5 billion on proton pump inhibitors. Maybe it could have even been Nexium, just the one medication. So this is huge. We need people. See, the pharmaceutical industrial complex needs you sick, and it needs people sick at all ages to keep the revenues growing. So you can see lots of papers. Well, not lots. This is one, obviously, but there are many papers that talk about proton pump inhibitor use in children. You can see right down here. Look at this. So the prescriptions for proton pump inhibitors in children increased 7.5-fold from 1999 to 2004. So when you see 7.5 times like that, that's 750% increase in sales. I mean, it's unbelievable, the dough that the pharmaceutical industrial complex makes because people in America and other industrialized nations just can't stop eating and sitting in front of the television. It's absolutely mind-boggling. So what drives GERD? What's a driver? Well, stress is a biggie. You think about stress and ulcers, right? So you can see right down the bottom here. We thus conclude that there is a correlation between family psychological traits and gastroesophageal reflux disease. So we know that stress is a driver of it. We know that, not surprisingly, obese individuals, this is looking at kids because I want to look at obesity and acid reflux in children and see what showed up. So right on WebMD, paper down below, right on WebMD back in 2010, so it's more now, likely because kids are more obese now. Obese children had a 30 to 40% higher risk of having acid reflux disease than normal weight children. It's horrific, horrific. So got to get the body weight normal for multiple reasons. I've done lots of videos on COVID showing that if you're obese, it's horrific from the perspective of potentially dying and being the biggest human spreader population are the obese flaming populations I've discussed in multiple other videos. So when you look at lifestyle management of GERD, this is what we see in, well, this is a famous, if you've been through any healthcare education, so whether you've been through an osteopathic program, medical, chiropractic, you will likely use this as a book or as a reference book. And listen to what we're told. To reduce gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, stop smoking. So this is obviously looking here at adults. Avoid alcohol. You can still drink, just don't be excessive. And really, it's variable. You don't know which will be the thing that trips you into reducing GERD. So possibilities: stop smoking, really stop smoking. Don't be a drunk. No excessive alcohol consumption. Reduce meal size. Simple. How about this one? There you go. Basic and straightforward. Lose weight if overweight. And 75% of Americans are overweight or obese. Eat several hours before going to bed. Because when you lie down, the food goes up against the esophageal sphincter, and you get the reflux. Elevate head of bed 6 inches as a possible. You don't have to do this, but these are just things that are discussed in this book. Medications that lower that reduce lower esophageal sphincter tone. So here are your medications. Obviously, kids aren't taking those. Look at the foods they tell us to avoid. Avoid eating tomatoes, citrus, garlic, onions, peppermint, spearmint, chocolate, cola, and coffee. Okay, so these are all healthy. Well, except for cola, obviously. People don't realize also that coffee contains really a nice supply of anti-inflammatory polyphenols, which is the one I'm trying to think. I can't think of off the top of my head. Caffeic acid is one, and I can't think of the other one. But these are polyphenols that are found in coffee at large amounts. So coffee is actually anti-inflammatory. Yeah, you throw sugar in there, yeah, it changes it around a little bit. But they're talking about, like, don't eat citrus. So what have real scientists done to really look at, like, what might be the problem for these people? So this is in adults. So a very low carbohydrate diet improves GERD and its symptoms. Well, how's that? So I found a bunch of papers. This is published in 2006. This is the 2006 paper. The earliest paper I came across was in the year 2000. So a low carbohydrate diet for improving GERD. So reduce body fat, stop overeating refined sugar and flours, pretty simple. Now, in an animal study, they looked at omega-6 fatty acids and omega-3s and the effect on reflux. And it turns out that, you can see here, omega-3 fatty acids may reduce acute reflux. What does RE stand for anyway? Here you go, reflux esophagitis. So reflux esophagitis in rats. So obviously, we're just big rats. But the point, though, is that you're looking at omega-6s. Now, why am I showing you this? It's pretty simple. It's because, like all my other videos, the most important thing that we can do, including when it comes to dealing with GERD and then avoiding taking proton pump inhibitors, which screws up the gut long term, as you saw before, and in children it can increase the risk for asthma. So what should we do? Well, the cover of my first book shows perfectly what you do for GERD. Get rid of. So you've got omega-6 oils that the white potato is cooked in. You got your white bread and you got your cupcake to basically encapsulate the most obvious, or some of the most obvious, calories that we get that are made from refined sugar, flour, and omega-6 oils, all of which have been implicated in GERD reflux disease expression, and therefore the prescriptions delivered with your proton pump inhibitors like Nexium. So what should we do? Change out these calories for healthy calories, lose body fat. It's that uncomplicated. So this is my approach. There are lots of other approaches, and most of them involve, obviously, getting rid of sugar, flour, and refined oils. I mean, different approaches mean conceptualization as to why we should be doing this. So my approach is simply to deflame the body. A deflamed body does not have GERD. A deflamed body does not have arthritis. A deflamed body is not obese. A deflamed body is not prone to cancer. And a deflamed body is not likely to develop a severe viral infection. So all these books can be purchased on Amazon for the single books. And if you want to get volumes, you can go right to deflame.com. Right here, people send me a lot of emails. How can I get volume discounts? Maybe I should do this last little video, this last little image for these videos first, because the average person doesn't listen all the way. In case you're listening right now, well, you know how to get there. You just click Bing here, and you hit the drop-down menu. You can get volume discounts if you want. So if you buy 50 of the Deflame books, they're $12 each, which is $13 less than the single copy price. So pretty significant savings if you get volume discounts for your practice or for your business. And of course, at the top here, you can see all the social media sites to follow.